Do you want to know how to set up your home office for success? In today's video, we'll go over key ways to set up your home environment to help you stay motivated and actually get work done. My name is Steph and I love helping small business owners grow their influence and their profits online using marketing strategies that actually work. And I'm also the leader of the Preci Pack, an online marketing membership for entrepreneurs. Let's dive right into this. If I'm honest, which is how I roll, there are many times I don't really want to work. Sure, I love coaching and I'm passionate about marketing, but mom life and home life is chaos. So how do I find the motivation to push through? It might sound weird, but that's actually the wrong question to ask. It's not about motivation. Motivation is overrated. Honestly, I set up my environment so I will follow through. So how does this work? We're visual people. Our human bodies have over 11 million sensory receptors, and 10 million of those are dedicated to sight. So it shouldn't be surprising that a small change in what you see can make a big difference in what you do. So I don't try to get motivated. Instead, I set up my home office for success, my home environment. So I make the best course of action the most obvious one. And over time, those actions become habits. And once they're habits, I win. I do the do. I don't even have to think about it. And that's how we increase our business results. So I'm going to share with you several ways you can apply this and change your environment and set up your home office for success. And stick around to the end because I have some bonus tips, especially if you're like, Steph, I don't have a home office. What do I do then? And these out-of-the-box thinking tips will help you. First up, how to set up your home office for success. We establish really obvious visual cues. Everything I do is initiated by cues. Often, everything we don't do is because of a lack of cues. You know, that treadmill that's in the basement folded up, well, we skipped exercising. You look at your phone and hop online because it's right in front of you. And it's the same thing in your business and your home work environment. Distractions are everywhere. So here are some ideas and ways I've found to set up really obvious visual cues that help me out. Every night before I go to bed, I print off my checklist for the next day. And several of the things are very obvious on my checklist for business. But in the mornings when I'm stumbling out of bed and not really with it, because not a morning person here, I see the checklist and I jump into it and I start doing it before I ever even check my social media notifications. And that checklist is sitting on my planner on my desk in the mornings waiting for me. It's a very obvious visual cue that I don't even have to think about what I'm going to do next. Another suggestion is wall calendars. You're gonna see this picture in my basement pop up where I have my business tasks laid out. I think really being able to visually see what's coming up in your business over a period of time and not just 1 month in front of you, but say quarterly is really, really helpful. You can grab free printable wall calendars at passionplanner.com and I'll put the links in the comments. It's what I do. I print these out and that way I can fill them in and really get a good feel for what's coming up in my business so I know what to be working on. Another tip for an obvious visual cue is if you want to make sure you're getting in your personal development, which if you haven't seen the video, increase your business results, check it out because I talk about this. But when it comes to personal development, a great option is that book that you've been meaning to read that's been on your shelf for weeks. Well, put it on your pillow every night. And so that way, before you go to bed, it's there on your pillow and you know, okay, I'm going to read a page in it. Set a simple goal. It's very helpful to have a simple, attainable goal. Lastly, a visual cue or the absence of a visual cue is when you're working, say you're working on your laptop, knocking out a project for your business, put your phone somewhere else because that is a visual cue that's going to distract you. Making better work decisions, setting your home office up for success is easy when the cues for good habits are right in front of you and the negative habits are hidden. Make the best choice the most obvious choice. What's next? Using locations to your advantage. Working from home can be really hard because you may not have a home office. Or if you do, your kids are running in and out like crazy. So when do you actually get anything done? And you may find that you have to work in different rooms at different times. And that's why I love this tip. Designate spots for your work habits. We do this naturally all the time without even thinking. It's way easier to go out with friends and have a drink because, well, everyone else is there having a drink. Or at night, we sit down on the couch, probably in the same spot on the couch. Let me know in the comments if you and your significant other have your spots. But you sit down on the couch, you turn on the TV, and you veg out and you watch Netflix, which I think is great. I'm not knocking that. But that has kind of now become the veg out spot. And naturally, we link our memories to a location. If you're working from home, let me know where you work in your home. If you have a home office or if you don't, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. But chances are, if you work from the same spot in your home, it will naturally become easier to associate that spot with work because it's just what you do. So ideas on how to incorporate this. If you're filming videos, be it live videos, YouTube, TikTok, Reels, you name it, film them in the same place. Have your gear set up and ready to go. So if you have 15 minutes to film, you actually spend 14 minutes of them filming. This is where I like to film almost all of my YouTube videos. It's just a corner in the hallway and I leave my ring light there ready to go and set up. If you need to send messages or follow-ups, or maybe you're typing an email to your customers, do it in the same spot. Designate a spot on a couch or a chair in your office that's in the corner of the room, and even leave your list there so you know what action to take in that place. Or maybe you're batching content. It's honestly easier to do if you do it in the same place every week. For some reason, sitting on a stool by our kitchen island at about 10 o'clock at night is where I batch most of my social media content, which brings me to a couple extra steph hacks on how to use locations to your advantage. Steph hack number 1, pair location and also time of day. So now we're taking it a little bit of a step further. Instead of just using the location, now we're going to associate it to a time of day, because setting up your home office for success is honestly more than just where things are arranged. It's how you arrange your time. Do you know your personal work rhythm? When do you create the best work? Personally, I do better work in the afternoons. So same day, same time, same place is where I film my YouTube videos. So then it just becomes natural. It's like, oh, it's Wednesday. I filmed today. You begin to not question the activity and you don't need to find the motivation because it's just what you do that day, that time. Steph hack number 2, if you're trying to do something new, do it in a new place. New habits are just easier to do in new environments because when you step out of the norm, you leave your behavioral biases to that old location. And now you're in a new spot. And when I say new, realize that I'm not necessarily meaning that you even have to leave your house. It could be a new spot within a room or a different room. Don't overcomplicate this. Just rearrange or redefine an existing space in your current space. Steph hack number 3, if you need to brainstorm ideas or really think outside of the box, enlarge the physical space you're in. Right now, I'm at the beach with Petey, and it's really easy for me to get vision for my business and think big and get an overall view because I'm walking and living in a big space. So it's natural to think about the overview. So if you're trying to enlarge your current thought patterns, move to a bigger room, a patio, outside, just overall a break from the space in which you normally work. And steph hack number 4, the concept of establishing a home for your habits applies to digital spaces as well. I use my laptop for work and my iPad for fun, where I read and watch movies or Netflix. Every habit needs a home. Trust me, this really does work. So far we've covered 2 key ways to set up your home office for success: establishing really obvious visual cues and also using locations to your advantage. What's the next tip? To prime your environment for future use. Whenever you organize a space for its intended purpose, it becomes so much easier to actually do that task. It just happens. You do this already in a lot of ways. Maybe you're putting out your workout clothes the night before because you get up in the morning and go to a workout class, or you put your vitamins on the counter by the coffee so you take them. Now I want you to be even more deliberate to prime the path of your business related tasks as well. For example, in my membership, I use gamification to encourage membership retention. Just a fancy way of saying I send really cool stuff to my members every month. But to make this a cakewalk, because there's actual physical items involved, I keep all these items in one spot, all ready on a table. You're gonna see the picture here. So I'm able to quickly assemble, package, print that mailing label, and this way I can knock out 20 packages in 20 minutes. So I've primed the environment for the task. I keep articles for content creation in binders, so that way when I need some inspiration for one of my content pillars that I'm gonna be talking about in business, I can flip to that binder right away and find it. After a Zoom meeting, I make sure to clean off my desk. Trust me, if you're in Zooms like me, they get messy. You have your notes, you have like your trash because you've been eating snacks, you have your drink, whatever it is. So after the meeting, I intentionally clear that off. I file away the notes right in a little file box that I have, and that way the environment is ready for the next time I sit down at my desk to work. Imagine the cumulative effect for your business when you make all these small changes. When you live in an environment that's designed to make good decisions easier, the bad behaviors become much harder, and your home office is set up for success. And lastly, my bonus Steph hack. If you don't have an office, I can totally relate because I was there for a while too. I didn't have anywhere consistent to work. This is what I did. It's called my office in a bag. And for a year, this blue tote bag was my office. And in it, I kept my laptop, my phone, my planner, a notebook, pens, chargers for each item, basically everything I would need. So in an instant, I could grab that bag and work in any place. Keep in mind, I was often carrying that bag just to different rooms of my house, upstairs, downstairs, the basement, the car to find a quiet spot, and occasionally a brewery or cafe if I was escaping to work someplace. But so realize you can get creative and still prime your environment for future use, even with a trick like an office in a bag. I hope you found these 3 ways to set up your home office for success helpful. Number 1, establish really obvious visual cues. Number 2, use location to your advantage. Number 3, prime your environment for future use. If you're looking to increase your business results, check out the Parisi Pack membership. You can go to stephanieparisi.com to get more details. I'd love to be your coach and help you really level up this year. Hit subscribe, leave me a comment. I love connecting with you. And in the meanwhile, check out either of these 2 videos that are popping up on the screen. They're here to help you win in your business. And I'll be back next week with another new video.